Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Business Stories. You've got me, Dr. LL, Loralyn Mears of Steeris, bringing you wild and wonderful new guests like every week, right? Can you stand it? It's just getting better and better. In the house with us this week, we have Vance Morris. He is the founder of Deliver Service Now, but what his whole big thing is that he hails from Disney. He's a leader turned entrepreneur, speaker, coach, all that sort of good stuff. And we're really going to dig into, which is his thing, is pricing. How
Mm.
should you price what you're offering? Vance, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. And the crowd goes wild.
Right. See, we need the sound effects. Like that's like I need
Yeah,
a team. I need the hype team, like the hype
there you
girls to
go.
go, hey, right?
Yeah,
We
love it.
love you're used to the Disney fanfare. Actually, I'm headed there next week.
I was just there 2 weeks ago.
Oh, there you
So
go. I'm hoping Orlando has a little better weather than Jersey these days with the
it does.
snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm. Yeah, it's gotten to be too much. Now, so let's talk about, of course, because your background at Disney. We've got to start there and get anchored. Disney is recognized as one of the best companies in the world, not only just to work for, but particularly around its onboarding, how it
Mhm.
sets up culture, it sets up expectations. Talk to us about that grounding.
Sure. So Disney has what's called traditions. And this happens before any cast member, which is Disney's term for employee, actually goes to a work location. So they spend a full day and a half going over Disney's culture. A couple of friends of mine used to be traditions instructors, and essentially what they're doing is trying to bring Walt into the room and bring all of his mores and traditions in. So this is the place where you learn the Disney point, two fingers as opposed to one finger, or preferably a hand gesture, or preferably actually walk the guest to wherever it is they need to go. You learn about, how Disney started um, the movie production house, the cartoons, the trials and tribulations he had, how he and his brother Roy worked together. And it's really instructive because every business really needs to know their origin story. And they need to really lean on that origin story. The if you look at Disney, everybody knows that okay, Walt and Roy, Roy was the numbers guy, Walt was the creative guy, and here's how they came. If you work for Marriott Corporation, you hear how J.W. Marriott started with this little 9-seat root beer float hot shop in D.C. and the story of Alice Marriott carrying the bags of sticky nickels to the bank every day for the deposit. Um, because most of your employees, unless they've been with you since day one, they don't know your origin. And that is really important for people to understand because then they understand a lot more the why of what you're asking them to do. I mean, like I have some home service businesses here in Maryland, and every one of them, every one of my employees, current, knows that it was a rough start. Bankrupt, not proudly, but everything that I went through to keep the business up and afloat, and now to where we are today. Um, you know, a new employee needs to know those things in order to really understand the kind of company they're working for.
And to understand the people, I think this is a key part of it too, right? Leaders, we choose to follow, right? We may be
Yeah.
appointed in a role of authority, but it's our choice as employees, as staff, cast members, whatever you label you
Yeah.
want to put on, we choose to follow people. And we've got to get to know
Yeah.
a little bit about the owner and the backstory. I think that that's
100%.
essential.
Yep. I agree with you.
And as far as cast members, my stepson works at Disney, and that was
Oh,
the whole thing that threw us first. He's like, "Oh, I'm a cast member." Like, wait, are you dressing up as Goofy or something like this? Clearly you're not a princess. So what are you,
yeah.
right? And that took a lot of learning, but
Yeah.
he just speaks so highly of the whole experience and how he was immersed in it. And I'll throw this out there. Disney isn't the only company in the world, right, that does this. There's a lot of companies that do it well. I went and worked for a Fortune 10, then Philip Morris, which people could, gasp with horror, right? We all know what Philip Morris makes. besides
Yep.
making a lot of money, for people and shareholders. But they had an incredible onboarding experience too. They were also recognized in their day for what they did, just to really understand the culture, understand the gaps, understand the boundaries, understand what the potential risks were.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible learning experience too. So I'll just add that. Now, back to you on like Disney. And so when you were there, you were helping create these experiences. And so everything is about that whole immersive, right? Being
Mhm.
customer centric in that environment. And so I would think that you took a lot away from that to shape how you're delivering customer service today and how it enables you to bring premium pricing. Introduce this to us. Like where are we going with this?
Sure. So, if you have a office or a showroom or a store, you'll bring people come to you, and you're on what I would consider friendly sales territory. But if you have to go to someone's home or office to do your selling, you're in what I call hostile sales territory. And you need to, and in either place, you do need to create an environment that is conducive to sales. When we go into someone's home, so I have some home service businesses here in Maryland. When we go into somebody's home, that's hostile sales territory. We're at somebody's kitchen counter, kitchen table, whatever. So we spread stuff out everywhere. We got bottles of spot remover. We got a folder with all the documents in it and our warranties. And over here's a little video playing. So we try to even the playing field a little bit when we're in somebody's living room, giving us a little bit more of a opportunity to sell our services. When you have your own store or office, it also needs to be set up for sales. You don't want your office to be the sales prevention department or the service prevention department. I've worked with some chiropractors, and when they go in and do the case presentation and try and sell you the 19 visits that you need to get your back fixed, a lot of guys will just bring them into their regular office. They'll lift a pile of papers off of the chair for you to sit down on, and then they'll take their little lunch baggie and move that out of the way so they can actually see you. That is not an environment that is going to, one, elicit any kind of, this guy knows what he's talking about. Certainly, if you are a premium service, that is not helping you command a premium price. So you've got to design your environment to help further the sale and help further the prices that you want to command.
So that feeds nicely to my next question, which is
Sure.
all about that whole customer experience, right? You have elevated it so it goes beyond the task. We're here to clean your house or whatever we're going to
Right.
do, but there's a whole myriad of things that wraps around that to say that yes, there's the task, but here's the experience. So
Mhm.
talk to us about the difference between delivering a service and designing a memorable experience, because I think it's applicable to anything and everything that vendors offer.
Right. Well, it's something I call Disneyfying. So it's taking the boring, mundane things that we have to do day in and day out to keep the business up and running. Disney has just figured out a way to create experiences out of it. Answering the telephone, greeting a guest, whatever it is. So in a practical sense, one of the boring, mundane service things we have to do is we have to get into the home. If we can't get into the home, we can't provide our service. So we created an entire, and it's scripted. Everybody knows how to do it. An entire experience of getting in the home. And quickly, it starts in the street because we park in the street. We don't park in the driveway. God forbid I got an oil leak. Now I got something else I got to clean up. Technician gets out of his van in a clean uniform because he carries extra uniforms with him in case he gets dirty on the job beforehand. He also doesn't smell because I forbid cologne and I forbid smoking. Nothing worse than the Marlboro man showing up in your living room smelling like he took a shower in Axe. It's just it's disgusting. So he goes up, he lays a mat down on the door, he knocks on the door. He doesn't ring the bell because salespeople ring, friends knock. Takes a couple steps back. Mrs. McGillicuddy answers the door, says, "Hi, my name's Josh. I'm here to create your healthy home. May I come in?" And then he does an exaggeration of wiping his feet on the mat, puts little booties on his clean shoes, walks in and presents the customer with a gift. Now, when was the last time you had a plumber, a home inspector, anybody come to your home and give you a gift before they did any work whatsoever? Probably not. And so this is our process for getting into the home. The gift is nothing incredible. I mean, it's nice. It's a little custom blue box, and we've got a bottle of our spot remover, a bag of Entenmann's cookies, and a little note from me saying, thanks so much for allowing us into your home. That gift has done a couple of things for us. One, it sets us apart from everybody else because there's nobody doing it. And I don't mind talking about it because my competitors are too lazy to copy it, or they don't charge enough in order to be able to deliver that experience. And that gift starts a process called reciprocity. I give something to you, you feel compelled to give something back to me. So when we implemented the gift, we saw a 26% increase in our mid-tier package, which equated to about $65,000, $70,000 a year in additional sales.
That cues up the whole psychology of premium pricing, right? So you've talked about that you can raise it, you can price it accordingly without fear of backlash. I know several friends who are founders, they offer different services, and they've been terrified. Everything from an individual therapist to people offering coaching, all kinds of other services like, oh, it's a new year. I don't want to raise my prices. I don't know what to do. What your sound it sounds like what you're describing is that the premium pricing is enabled because it's perception, right? You're creating some sense of
100%.
emotional safety and you're getting people there first so that you can actually talk about what the potential is to deliver on the value. Is
Right.
that a fair
Yeah.
assessment?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a quick analogy would be comparing Disney to your local county fair. So if you go to your local county fair, which I live in a rural area, we still have them, you pay 20 bucks and you can get on all the rickety rides that you want. And there's a whole bunch of ex-cons that are, running the rides. And, you get what you get for 20 bucks. Um, Compare that to Disney, which is today is about anywhere between 180 and $200 a day to get in. You might even argue that Disney's rides are not as exciting as the ones at the county fair. I would agree. If you get on Small World and you strip away all the little dancing dolls, it's a really boring ride. But what does that $200 buy you? It buys you safety. You're in a safe environment too. It buys you memories because Disney knows what business they're in. They sell memories and they sell happiness. And so everything there is designed to sell those two things. You also have quality of employees, quality of the environment. I mean, it's clean. I mean, to the point where, I mean, not that I would eat off the ground, but you probably could. Um, and so when you compare the two, you know what you're getting for 20 bucks, and your expectation paying 180 at Disney is a little bit different, but you are paying for the experience of being at a Disney property or a Disney resort. And even Disney resorts, the hotels, it's $700, $800 a night to be in one of the monorail hotels right next to the Magic Kingdom. Well, that's a premium so that you're near the Magic Kingdom. You can walk there, hop on a monorail. It's easy. You're not in the outskirts and you have to get on a bus, which is boring, takes time. There's no excitement to it. So, yeah, premium can be a lot of different.
I see this maybe on two sides of trust. Let's attack the first side first. So all the things that you talked about really take a long time to build that reputational trust, right? It's earned. So Disney over decades has shown it's always clean, it's always safe. The rides are very well maintained. The staff are exemplary with respect to their delivery of customer service, all of these things. So they've built trust. How does a company that's really just starting out, or maybe it's a little bit more mature than starting out, but it hasn't built that level of reputational trust yet to enable it to, I guess, more seamlessly jump into some premium pricing?
Sure.
How do we make the leap?
Well, we can approach it from two different directions. One is your marketing. Are you marketing for an affluent customer, or are you marketing for everybody? Like I don't do every door direct because that is a postal service that it goes down and everybody on that postal route gets the same piece. Well, in
Mm.
my area, one side of the street are $3 million homes. The other side of the street are single wide trailers that house all the migrant farm workers. Well, I don't want my wasting my money going to the migrant farm workers. I want my stuff to go there. So you have to know who and how you're marketing to. So your customer really makes a big difference. Um, and then you also want to be what I call tellable. Oh my God, you'll never guess what happened when insert your profession here. Oh my God, you'll never guess what happened when the carpet cleaner showed up. They gave me a gift. And so that starts that viral word of mouth marketing that they might even post about you. And so if you can get people to say, oh my goodness, you'll never guess what happened, you accelerate that trust building very quickly because you're automatically talking about an experience you literally had 15, 20 minutes ago.
The other side of that, of course, is how you erode trust. And you may be doing it overtly, right? There's things that you, I don't know, maybe yelled at a customer in front of others. It was captured in this era of
Ooh.
viral videos. Or you may be doing things a little bit more subtly, right? That are very quietly, invisibly almost eroding trust. What are some of those things you've seen in your years coaching
Oh,
folks
sure.
on how
And
they're losing trust?
yeah, and it's that insidious little stuff. I mean, most people don't lose a client because of like a major mishap. One, you know about it. Two, they let you know about it, and you have an opportunity to recover from it. It's the little small things that happen. And I literally just wrote an article about this on, your customer journey having friction. And it's not the big stuff, it's the little stuff. How long does it take you to answer an email? Do you reply in a day? Do you reply in 3 days? Do you not reply? How quickly do you answer the phone? A lot of us are in businesses where customers have to wait. So one of the exercises I make everybody go through that works with me is build your customer journey, completely map it out, but do it from the point of view of the customer. So customer comes in, so say you're a financial advisor. Client shows up, you say, okay, great, we got all their numbers. We're going to make a financial plan for you. I'm going to need 7 to 14 days to come up with the plan. We'll meet again in 2 weeks. Well, the advisor is doing work. They're putting numbers into spreadsheets, they're checking on returns and all sorts of stuff. But what is the client doing? The client is sitting there doing nothing. They are waiting. And what happens when you wait? You start to second guess your purchase. You have buyer's remorse. All sorts of things start to go through. What the hell are they doing? Why is it taking so long? And if you take a page from Disney, Disney came up with something called linertainment, where they entertain you while you are in line to make that wait feel like it's not so bad. I mean, they can't compress time, but they can do things to create activity while you're in line. You go to a haunted mansion, you can read the tombstones or play with the organ or anything like that. Well, in business, we need to do the same thing. Great. So you know you've got 14 days. Perfect. Get a handwritten thank you note out there. Hey, thanks so much for the meeting. I'm going to be working on your file for the next 2 weeks. And then maybe your assistant makes a quick phone call. Hey, Bob's working on your file. Don't worry, we're going to get to it. Maybe send them a copy of your book. Hopefully, you've written a book because that's definitely got cachet and authority built into it. Send them a copy of your book. Hey, while we're waiting for your plan to come together, here's my book, 10 questions to ask any financial advisor before you give them a penny, and get them engaged. So you want to make that wait period truly condensed, or not feel so long. That's where people lose customers. It's those wait periods or seemingly periods of inactivity that a lot of business owners will lose their customer.
I think this is actually a really refreshing insight, right? Everybody's got their different approaches. We all know we need to understand the customer journey, where they come in, where we lose them, right? Where they start to create some friction, some agitation. But few people I've interviewed have talked about how do you overcome, that. They just say, well, they've just got to wait, right? It's going to take you 3 weeks until you get your thing. And like, too bad, so sad, just go find something else to do, right? In the
Yep.
meantime. But like you said, that's the opportunity where somebody who can outcompete somebody else and then because of that better,
Right.
I guess, connection and sustained connection with the customer while they're anticipating what's going to happen and they're waiting for the delivery of whatever you're
Right.
giving them or selling them, that they're ready for the premium price because it feels more
Right.
like a premium
Yeah.
experience, right?
And, I mean, I've got a kitchen and bath remodeler who is a client. And if you've ever done any remodeling in your home, you know that it's a disaster. As much as they try and keep everything contained, there's workers, there's dust, there's noise. Um, and he knows this ahead of time. And so he attacks that ahead of time. He gives out gift certificates to local restaurants. Hey, we're going to be making a lot of noise. You're not going to be able to use your kitchen today. Here, take your husband and family out to, Chick-fil-A or whatever and, get a meal. Or he'll have DoorDash bring in a lunch while, maybe the wife or husband, works from home. They can't cook. So the kitchen and bath guy, he builds all that into his price, though. It seems like they are all nice things that he's doing for you, but he is accounted for it, so he's not losing anything, and he's actually gaining a tremendous amount of trust and respectability because he's doing these things. And then again, like I said, people talk about it. He's doing tellable things.
You had to shift from operator to strategist, right? And educator with all the work that you do, your presentations, speaking opportunities, like you said, articles, things you're writing, and the folks that you're coaching. So, what shift did you have to consciously make in order to be in that mode where you can tell others, this is what you need to think about customer service, premium pricing? Hey, I'm not an operator anymore. I'm advising you. Did that take a
Yep.
shift for you, Vance?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, because I had proof of concept. So everything I talk about, I've done in a carpet cleaning business. And I figure if a carpet cleaner can create these experiences, command premium pricing in a highly commoditized and derogatory market, anybody can do this. But the one thing when I was doing it in those businesses is I had to get the head trash out of, oh my God, if I raise my price, what's going to happen? And I went to an event. It paid for itself because the guy just said, just raise your prices 10% now and see what happens. And he said, I guarantee you nobody's going to peep. Damn if he wasn't right. Just literally no reason whatsoever, just raise the prices 10%. All that flows right to the bottom line. Now, I'm not advocating that people go out and do that right now, although it's not a bad idea. But you want to be able, you've got to sometimes understand you are not your customer. So the market that I was going after with that cleaning business was not me, because at the time I was not an affluent person. I was, I living in a rental. I probably couldn't afford me to come clean my carpets. But once I got beyond the fact that, and my own head trash, that I am not my customer, I mean, it just became easy to raise prices all the time. And you market it, though, properly. You say, hey, look, the government can't balance their books, but we have to. So we've got a price increase coming up. It's going to be in 6 weeks. Book your cleaning now to get in at the current pricing. So you let people know it's happening, you let them know why it's happening, and you give them an opportunity to come in at the grandfathered price. So there's a lot of different strategies you can use to do price increases and actually have more sales because of the price increase.
Yeah, it's this weird mindset, right? It's
Yeah,
counterintuitive thinking. You're like, oh, but a lot of people do that. They don't go if they get three quotes. Most people go with the middle because they don't want to go with the one that's too low because, well, they're probably cheap and they don't have great
right.
service. But the one that's really expensive, wow, they're out of sight, they're out of touch with reality. But the middle one, it's like Goldilocks, right? That's the whole phenomenon. It's like, well, I think this one's just right.
I sort of agree. So I never argue with my host, so don't, I'm not trying to do that. Um, but we don't do anything for free anywhere. And I advise my clients not to do anything for free. So again, talk about a financial advisor. They'll do a free, assessment of your finances. They'll spend an hour with you. I'm like, why the heck would you want to give an hour of your time away for free? Charge for it, and don't call it what every other financial advisor calls it. Call it something else. You can so we don't do uh, estimates in our world for the cleaning business. We'll come out and we will do a thorough inspection of your home and what your cleaning needs are, upholstery, tile, grout, whatever. And we will provide you with a accurate quote at that time. And oh, by the way, that's $99. And if you choose to use us, we'll apply the $99 to your invoice. Now, that immediately gets rid of all the cheapos, the tire kickers, the coupon clippers, and they realize, oh, this is a real company. It's not going to be some, fly-by-night group. And I encourage other people to do that. Don't give away your time for free. Yeah, I mean, yes. So here's how much I give. I give 11 minutes away for free. It's what I call a triage call. So if I have a prospect calling me, you get 11 minutes. There's three questions. And at the end of that, there's nothing to buy. You can't buy anything from me. So I tell them, put your credit card away. But at the end of the 11 minutes, we decide whether we're going to go on to a strategy call, which has a charge to it, or we're not right for each other. But I've only done 11 minutes and I've got that set in my schedule.
There you go. That's firm. I think that that's part of it too, right? That Disney training where there has to be the discipline. You can't waver from the standard operating procedures. This is these the
Right.
protocols and they're in place because they work.
Yeah, 100%. And
No
that's how
deviation.
that's how Disney is so consistent is that
Right.
they have a process or system for everything. You want to carry a tray in a restaurant, they got a system for it. You want to change a bus tire, they got a system for it. And when you have systems, it actually frees up space in your brain to be able to do other things. And that's how Disney's employees do all the nice things, take pictures, give autographs, walk you over to here or there, because they're doing their job by rote. I mean, it's just muscle memory. They don't have to think about it. So they have 20% capacity in their brain to go and do all the nice things that Disney's known for.
Bingo, bingo. Easy peasy. So Vance, where can people find you? Where can we learn more about you? Where do they go?
Sure. LinkedIn is the only social media I do. So you can find me there. I think I'm the only Vance Morris Disney guy that you can find. And then I do have a free gift for everyone if they would like. It's 52 ways to wow your customer. It's a quick download PDF, one wow for every week of the year if you're not feeling creative. And you can find that at wow52ways.com.
Excellent. Now, last question, signature question of the show. If we
Sure.
got to peek into that Maryland closet of yours, I'm curious what footwear we're going to find that personifies who you, Vance Morris, are. I'm wondering, are we going to be looking at booties? Are we going to be looking at something more Disney-esque, right? What are we looking at? What's the footwear that
Well,
represents?
we have the workout shoes are all Philadelphia Eagles. So I buy my Nikes from the Philadelphia Eagles store. And I also have some very sensible shoes. And then I do have my big wonkin' orange boots that everybody says looks just like a neon beacon walking through the snow. So yeah, those are the three go-tos I've got in the house.
Excellent. So with that, Vance, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for being on our show.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.